I put a twist to this sink or float challenge since Vinny did it so easily the other day. We have a big bucket of toys.
We had 6 the last time, and now we have like
20. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you have to close your eyes and pick out something from the bucket.
Okay.
And then you guys have to say sink or float. Will it sink or will it float? Let's get into this.
All right, so Ariana's gonna go first, so go ahead and close your eyes and put your hand in the bowl. All right, so show me what you have.
Seesaw.
A seesaw. Okay, so what do you think it's gonna do? Float or sink? You think it's gonna sink? What do you think?
I think it's gonna float.
Do you think it's gonna float?
Honestly.
I think it's gonna sink because it has a hole in the middle and a big hole in the way you shape it.
Okay, let's go ahead and try it. Ready?
It's float.
My prediction was right, you guys.
So even though there is a hole in it, it still floats. That is nuts. So we're gonna start a pile over here
That's 1 point.
for. We have our 2 towels here. One is gonna be for the sink and one is gonna be for the float. So we are gonna put this one in the float one. Guys, it is Michaela's turn. So go ahead and put your hand in the bowl. And tell me what you got.
Got one of these little dudes.
Okay, so what do you think it's gonna do? Sink or float?
Float.
You think it's gonna float?
Gotta put my
What do you think?
sunglasses on.
Sink.
You think it's gonna sink?
Because it's too heavy.
You think it's gonna float?
Actually, it's gonna float.
All right, let's go ahead and try it out. Put it in the water. Let's see what it does.
Eyeballs, we need the sunglasses to do this.
Okay, go ahead. Put it in there and see what it does.
Floats.
I got my prediction right, you guys. 2 times in a row.
2 times in a row.
All right, so let's put it onto the float towel.
Oh.
Okay, now it's Vinny's turn. Pick one out. What do you have?
Number 2.
Okay, and what do you think it's gonna do?
Sink.
You think it's gonna sink?
Yes.
Float. Float.
I think that it's gonna sink. I think it's gonna sink because it has 2 holes on the top. Let me
And a
see.
big hole.
Yeah. Okay. So you ready?
It's gonna sink.
All right. Go ahead.
It's gonna float.
Go ahead. Put it in there.
No, you gotta say one.
Give it a couple seconds. And I'm so surprised. It floats.
Yeah. My prediction was right. 3 times in a row.
All right. Give it to me and I'll put it in our
Yeah.
float. So all 3 were floating.
Woohoo!
All right, guys. It's Ari's turn again. Pick one out. So what did you get?
Car.
What do you think is gonna happen?
It's
Sink
gonna
or
sink.
float? You think it's gonna sink? What do you think?
I'm not sure on this one. I gotta say.
I think it's gonna sink.
Yeah, maybe it might sink, you
You
guys.
think it's gonna sink?
We
Okay.
all think it's gonna sink.
Let's go ahead
guys.
and test it out. It sinks, guys.
Well, at least we know if you guys get into hurricanes. your car's
All right.
gonna sink.
Go ahead and put it on our sink. That's our first one that sinks.
Because it's metal.
All right, it's Michaela's turn. Go ahead and pick one out of the bowl. And what do you think is gonna happen to that?
I think it's gonna float.
You think it's
Honestly,
gonna
I
float?
think it's gonna float.
I think it's gonna float. Because last time,
Ah, is it gonna sink or float? It's gonna float. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So let's go ahead and test it. Ready?
it's gonna
2,
float.
3.
It floats.
It floats, guys.
What's my tongue?
Yeah,
now?
Wait, guys.
It
What?
floats.
Honestly, I'm kind of.
It's floating.
Oh yeah, that is.
All right, guys. So that one floats. So let's put it in our float pile.
Floating.
All right, guys. It's Vinny's turn. Close your eyes and pick one out. All right. What'd you get? A Lego. So what do you think it's gonna do? Don't put it in there. What do you think it's gonna do? It's gonna float. What do you think it's gonna do?
I think it's gonna float too.
What do you think?
Float.
I think it's personally gonna sink. But who knows? Let's check it out. Ready? 1.
2, 1, go. It floats. It floats.
It does. By like by the hair, it floats. Oh my goodness. All right, pass it over to me and I'll put it in the floats.
Yeah, float.
Guys, we have so many that are floating and the only one that is sinking.
Yes.
All right, you ready, Ari?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Pick one out. Close your eyes.
Fishy.
All right, so what do you think is going to happen to that fish?
Let's get a float.
It's gonna float? What do you
Fishies, fishies usually be underwater, but I think it's gonna.
You think it's gonna float?
I think it's gonna float.
Me too. I think it's gonna
I
float.
never tried it for that.
Floaty.
So we were right. He floats. All right, let's put him in our floating pile.
I'm a swimming fishy.
And then it's Michaela's turn. All right, go ahead. Put one in there.
Gusty.
All right, let me see what he is. All right, and what do you think is gonna happen to it?
I think he will float.
You think he's gonna float?
I think he's gonna float.
You think he's gonna float?
Float.
You think he's gonna float? All right, 3, 2, 1.
And float.
You guys were all right. He floats.
So you put that.
Put him in the float compartment.
Compartment.
Hey, it's Vinny's turn. Go ahead, Vinny. Close your eyes and pick a toy. What did you get? Let me see.
Batman.
What do you think is gonna happen?
I am Batman.
What do you think is gonna happen to him? You think he's gonna float? Don't put him in there yet. What do you think?
Batman. Honestly, because I'm Batman, I think Batman will float.
Float?
Actually, sink.
Sink? Okay.
Since I am that girl, I think he's gonna float.
Sink.
I think he's gonna sink too. Are you ready?
I think he's not.
3, 2, 1. He sinks, guys. So we have our second one that sinks.
Put him this way so we have one.
Ari's turn. Go ahead, Ari, pick a toy. All right, let me see your toy. What do you got there?
He looks similar to mine.
Yeah, he does. What do you think's gonna happen to him?
I think he's gonna float.
Think he's gonna float?
Float.
Float?
Float.
Float? We all think he's gonna float because I think he's gonna float too. 3, 2, 1. And he floats, guys. So we were right. Thumbs up. Yeah.
Because we knew that one floats.
And guys, if you're enjoying this video right now, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification
I'm
bell.
gonna hit that notification. It's right in my hand.
All right. So now it's Michaela's turn. Michaela, go ahead. All right. So what do you have?
I am Princess Aurora.
And what do you think's gonna happen to her?
You'll float.
You think she'll float?
I think she's gonna float.
You think she's gonna float?
Float.
You think she's gonna float too?
Float. Yeah.
I think she's gonna float. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. So you guys were right. She does float. So let's put her in the float section.
Guys, I obviously think that the float is probably gonna get way more than
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's mine.
Whose turn is it?
Mine.
Vinny's turn. Close your eyes. Pick a toy. Pick a toy. Okay, and what do you think is gonna happen to it? It's a ducky. Okay, and what do you think is gonna happen? Oh, it's a giraffe. It's a giraffe. What do you think is gonna happen to it? You think it's gonna float? You agree with Vincent? I agree too.
3, 2, 1.
And he float. Oh, he sank. Oh my gosh! We were so wrong. All right, quick, put him on our towel. Wow, guys, I'm very shocked. I did not think that was gonna happen.
I got it